Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Man, is it bad weather? This is a bad one. It's a bad, bad January for weather. I'll tell you that. You can't even go out. I guess in Salt Lake City they're not getting anything, but bad, bad weather. You shoveled for 3.5 hours almost nonstop. You burned 4,200 calories. That's insane. That's an insane amount of calories. You got to eat a fuck ton if you want to keep your weight. If you burn 4,200 calories, yeah, moving's a bitch, man. Depends. Maybe use a moving company. As a Catholic, it pisses you off when liberals use the Bible to defend themselves. I think the religious stuff is it's complicated, but it's like using the founding fathers to defend yourself. If you're a liberal, it's ridiculous. Like you have to contextualize their beliefs, but it's also complicated. You're a little chubby, but not that bad. Standard 15. Well, you lose a lot of weight. You do burn 4,200 calories. That's pretty insane in a single day. I've had to shovel like 4 or 5 times, maybe around there, but it really hasn't been bad. It had because you keep doing it. It's not heavy snow. It's been really light snow, but it's just the thing is it's just so cold. So the fact that it's cold makes it more challenging because you got to go out there and you shovel. If you don't shovel within a day, it's gonna freeze. The snow will freeze to the ground, and then it'll just become like a frozen mixture of ice and snow. What's your family's religion? Just Christian, but not Catholic. People think that because of the Irish, but I think a lot of religion is based on how you're raised. Like if I was raised in a traditional Irish extremely Catholic family, I'd be very Catholic. But that's just not what happened. Stop snacking and stop eating at 6 p.m. Yeah, I don't think eating at night is generally a good thing. But really, it's just a calories in, calories out. So just understand, keep it under like 2,000 calories. You'll probably lose weight. Unless you're like a fucking 110-pound girl, then maybe not. But you'll likely lose weight if you eat under 2,000 calories. I'll tell you. Always a good day when I'm streaming. Thank you. I appreciate that. Custard, thank you. Are you an Ohio State fan too? What are the chances we win the Natty this year? Porter looked decent. Not too sure. Are you from Ohio? Yeah, I'm from like northeast Ohio, but not really the Cleveland, not Cleveland, but um, yeah, they got a really tough schedule. That's what everyone's been talking about with Ohio State. They got an insanely difficult schedule. I think it's good for them. They had a very easy schedule in 2025, and it was kind of boring, and it was just so they got a really tough schedule. They're gonna have to try and go 10-2. Like they face USC, Oregon, Michigan, Iowa, Texas. That's what people are talking about. They replace a lot of their defense. The offensive players are pretty much all back. No, it really is just. I mean, if you eat, I mean, it is fundamentally a calories thing and losing weight. I mean, yeah, there's strategies in terms of more calorically dense food, and if you eat fast food, it's less calorically dense, so it's not going to fill you up and it'll make you hungry earlier. I mean, there's strategies with the type of food, but you could lose a ton of weight eating really any food because it's just proportional. What's with Trump's statement today on Second Amendment rights and legal gun carrying? That's a problem. Instead of saying guns are okay, but interfering is not. I didn't see what he said about the Second Amendment today, but he's definitely changed his tune. If we're going to be honest about, and this is all done because he's trying to appear. in a better light for the midterms, but it's like this is the problem with the country. It's just so hard to really accomplish anything. I think they can just continue the deportations, maybe with Trump changing his rhetoric, if that's what's going to happen. But you have to worry. The thing is, you have to look at Minneapolis in general. Very little ICE arrests come from Minneapolis, anyways. So I think they're thinking the collateral is too much in terms of not even just so these protests, but it's just the reaction from throughout the country that they don't want. I mean, they're sending home in there, and there's a lot of people that said, well, Trump caved in, or, the Waltz caved in, or I don't know if it's really either one. I think we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see until on how it plays out, see if they continue to arrest people in Minneapolis. But people say the juice is not worth the squeeze because of the poll. It's making the rest of the country not like the deportations. I think it's ridiculous. It's hysteria and it's propaganda. That's all it is. When these protesters get in the way, you can't be doing. Give them amnesty, but don't give them the right. But don't give them the right. Don't give them the right to vote. I think it's ridiculous. They can't get any amnesty. They say amnesty with no citizenship. That's what Rand Paul said on Joe Rogan. He said they're working and it's important. And it's the same thing, the same charade over and over again the last 10 years in this entire immigration debate. The country is not healthy with having these illegal immigrants work for us. It's just not, it's not a way to operate a society, let alone the replacement. Let alone the replacement of the demographics. I'm your first and only subscription. Wow, I appreciate that, man. 40 years ago, everyone would be on board with ICE, even 25 years ago. Well, even last year, they were on board with ICE. This is the problem. People just break into this hysteria thing where it's like something happens, a specific event, they magnify it, and then they say, well, no, we can't have this. It's the same thing that happened in 2020 with the police and George Floyd. They said they wanted to defund the police because of a single police encounter. And selectively outraged, looking at things, and what about all the American citizens that have been killed by illegal immigrants? If you're going to get this angry, that's the thing with Jimmy Kimmel and Matt Walsh, to where absolutely you're going to start crying about this dude dying when where are the tears for all of the people that died at the hands of illegal immigrants if you're really upset about a single person dying? But it's all performative, it's all propaganda driven. That's what a lot is. None of it's to be taken seriously because they're captured by a specific perspectives. All of Hollywood, all of LA, the entertainment industry, they're captured by a perspective and they won't let it go. So it's all going to be propagandized. Andrew Wilson is going on Rogan next, so Nick Fuentes is going on. Yeah, I did see Andrew Wilson was bragging about going on Rogan. I guess it doesn't shock me that much. I know Andrew Wilson has gotten pretty big, but I haven't really seen him around doing debates or whatever recently online. Rogan tends to be like a chameleon. He adapts to whoever he's talking to, so I don't know if there'll be any contentious points, but he has a pretty rigid ideology. Andrew Wilson does. But Rogan normally just bends the knee to whoever he has on. There's very rare does he get into arguments. So it'll probably just be a conversation mainly based around religion. But I don't know. You think that any administration would relinquish the power they've gained with millions upon millions of people who entered the U.S. within 4 years? What do you mean? Millions upon millions. I think they want people to enter the country. Liberals do for sure for voting. They have to have these people come in. This is the replacement. They have to replace their own aging voter base because the people are and it just comes down to what they believe in. If you're a rabid feminist, you're much more likely not to have a family, not to have kids. That's part of the ideology. And if you're a rabid feminist, you're very likely to be a liberal. So these people, they don't reproduce. So how do you replace that? I mean, that's really a thing that liberals got to look in the mirror at. I don't really hear them talk about it because I think they're ashamed by it. Their own party is going extinct, so how do you replace your own party from going? I mean, that's their lifestyle. It is, in essence, in many ways, extinction. There's not a lot of fulfillment in what this rigid feminist ideology is. So I wonder if Trump should fire Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi. Yeah, but he's not going to. He just said that Bondi was doing a good job. I don't think he's gonna fire either one of them, honestly. Not from what he's been saying. Maybe there'll be a change of heart if there's like numbers that come out and people that he respects he listens to, but Rogan is just trying to capture more of an audience for advertising money. No, I don't think so. Rogan at this point is kind of maxed out on his reach. You're not going to really reach more people with Wilson, I don't think. Like everybody knows Rogan at this point. He already has the. I mean, he gets like $20 million a year or whatever. I think Rogan probably already would have been retired at this point if he didn't get this Spotify deal. He keeps doing this. I think he goes through the motions, does the same podcast over and over again, says the same stuff. How many times can you do a 3-hour podcast? I mean, let's be honest, without being paid millions of dollars for it. If he's not getting this Spotify deal, I don't even think he's doing the podcast, if I had to guess. Because even back in 2021, 2022, he would repeat the same things basically every other episode, and people would say, this is getting annoying on Reddit. God, I can only imagine what Reddit is now. You know, there was a subreddit, Joe Rogan subreddit. It had like 500K followers, and it just turned into, which is pretty typical, just this liberal echo chamber, and they just hated on Rogan because, you know, Rogan was anti-vaccine. He was talking about like things like ivermectin. Then they got into the whole debate with CNN, and CNN's like Surgeon General or whatever. And people on Reddit were just not having it. They were like, fuck Rogan. And it just, that's what pretty much all subreddits of a person or a YouTube channel, they just turn into hate channels. It's kind of funny. It's like you go to the channel like, our Joe Rogan, okay, this is Joe Rogan fans, and it's just, they just all hate him. Like all it is, that's what the internet is. It's actually a good compass on the internet. You create a channel for specifically for someone to talk about it, and it just turns into a giant hate page, because that's what people want to do. They want to go and they want to hate on people on the internet because it's more fun that way. So I guess it's to a degree understandable, but with how liberal Reddit is, they weren't having Joe Rogan, and they kept saying, well, in 2016 Rogan was better and he was more of a liberal. I didn't even listen to it then, but you know, they were saying he used to be liberal, now he's turned, he's become fascist, he's become a Nazi, you know, whatever. You know, you see these people, I still see it, they call people Nazis. Anytime you try and stand up for white people, or you talk about saying we want white people, the white population to go up, or we want to fight the demographic change in the country, they just call you a Nazi. So any defense of white people, you're deemed a Nazi. That's really what it is with a lot of liberals, and they think because they can stick that tagline on you, your opinion becomes void. But people have to just brush it off and say that's ridiculous. The word is irrelevant. The word Nazi is irrelevant in the modern American context when you think about it. It's a slur for somebody that's a National Socialist that was used against the Nazis in like the 30s. They didn't even call themselves Nazis. It's just a slur against them. It just doesn't make any sense in the modern American language. Yeah, Joe Rogan is kind of just one of those liberals that doesn't, or I don't know if he's a boomer or whatever, Gen X, but he's just doesn't really get it, or maybe he doesn't want to get it. Maybe his mom was an immigrant or something. I don't know, something along those lines. But I don't think he really understands the end game of what this creates. What this is, laissez-faire immigration policy is what Rogan supports. And then he says, well, you know, it gets to be too much, and sometimes we want to stop people from illegally entering, but allow millions and millions of legals to enter anyways. So it's like, what's the difference? Sanders is a Pro Bowler. I think it's kind of ridiculous. I don't know why they would allow that. Sanders was one of the he was the second worst quarterback of like starting quarterback this year that was qualified. So I mean, like, what is the purpose? It's a charade. Like, you're gonna do this for the Pro Bowl. Obviously, they gave it to him because a few people, a bunch of people said they didn't want to play, but also it's because they wanted the spectacle, they wanted the headlines. This is the NFL is a clown show if they really are this desperate for headlines. That's what people should be talking about. How desperate do you have to be to get headlines? Shedeur Sanders is like one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. How he makes the Pro Bowl because you want headlines, really? That's some bad desperation. That your sport is irrelevant if you do that. I'm serious. If you do that, if you go that low, because there's no other way for him to make it. I mean, Cam Ward, any Tyler Shuck, any other rookie, it's just like, yeah, that's desperation. That's really bad. Thoughts on age limits for public servants in office? You say their age limit should be you cannot run for president after 60. No, I think 70. I mean, to be you get older, you reach a certain point to where you do start declining mentally. But when you're 60, I think it's fine. But yeah, 70, I think is a bit old. But it's so dependent on the person, man. In terms of like brain health, it's so in terms of how that you age, it's so dependent on the individual. But generally, you want someone younger, but not too young. So I don't know what the perfect age is. Probably mid-50s. Because I do like, somebody that comes in at like 35 or something, like there's just no life experience. I feel like it's when you grow up, you realize how much smarter you get with every year that passes. So you want that, but then you don't want the brain to start deteriorating, which tends to happen with a lot of these people, like with Biden. And I mean, Trump still seems relatively kind of good, but it's dependent on the person. I mean, Trump is also just insanely old for holding a position like this. Should have been Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I mean, people were saying they asked Trevor Lawrence and he declined it. But then I don't even get how that works. Like, why even have the Pro Bowl games anyways? They get no ratings. It's a flag football game. It's stupid. I would just name the Pro Bowlers and be done with it. So then you don't have to worry about diluting the Pro Bowl selection process by allowing people that are bad to be Pro Bowlers. Just name the Pro Bowlers. There's no game because the game gets terrible ratings. It's flag football. Nobody wants to play. But see, they have these Pro Bowl games now, so they have to have the players come to it. And the players are like, fuck that. I don't want to go. It's a joke. My season's over. Why would I want to go do that? And they ask people, they say no. They ask some other player, no. They ask another player, no. Then they get to Shedeur Sanders. Oh, yeah, it's magically he wants to go. But you would have to ask, like, the entire fucking NFL before you got to Shedeur Sanders. I mean, it's obvious that was a publicity stunt. Age limit for office should mirror age limit for Social Security. Force the politicians to either leave or stop raising the limit. Yeah, something has to be done. The problem is they're all really old, so they're not going to vote for it themselves. So how does that work? I mean, is it just younger people coming in and then voting on it in Congress to be able to implement late age limits? Because right now they're all old. They're not going to vote. They're not going to vote themselves out. They're not going to put limits on it. But they obviously, that's something that's prehistoric. It needs to be changed. There's no question. But I don't think anyone thought it was going to get this bad with how old some of these congressmen are. You went to your local coin shop today. It was crazy busy. Would you ever sell some of your crypto to diversify into precious metals instead? Well, the way I approach crypto is I just approach, I really don't, I say I really don't have that money. So, it's a decent amount of money. Now it's actually pretty down. But, I mean, in the summer it was higher. It'll probably go higher at some point, and we'll see if I can make anything off of it. But, I approach crypto like, because the thing is, if I had Bitcoin, I would say, okay, I can factor that into my net worth and everything like that. Ethereum, Solana, but I don't have any of those coins. I got crap and shit. So you can't really bank on that being part of your net worth because it goes crazy high, crazy low. So I don't even really view crypto as part of anything. I mean, I have money set aside that I'm going to be investing into a safer situation, possibly the Nasdaq, maybe some normie shit. But I don't know about precious. The problem with precious metals, you're buying at the top. I'm not going to do it. I mean, if they keep going up, God bless. But now I'm buying at the top. I give people credit that made a 3x off of silver in the span of like a year or whatever it was. But I would have loved to have made a 3x off silver. That would have been great. I mean, it would be way better performance than the S&P. But I'm probably just going to go into the S&P or the NASDAQ or SpaceX, buying the SpaceX stock. No, it's going to be way overvalued. Just buying into Vanguard, man, always does well. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to talk to a financial advisor, and he'll probably just tell me all the top ones, pros and cons. Some potentially will go up a little bit more, but they're more risky. Others are safer. It's the normal spiel. I mean, there's any type of those index funds or, where they pool a bunch of the sectors together and the VOO. Did you go skiing? No, I haven't been skiing, and I want to go skiing probably next week when it gets warmer. The roads get better. The roads are terrible. The roads just have not. I mean, I can't remember a time when it's been like this. It's been 5 days. Well, maybe 4 days. It's been 4 days where the roads, the side streets are just horrific. Even some of the main roads are bad, and they just won't get better because now we're getting these little squalls where it'll snow for like 30 minutes. But it's just, there's so much shit on the ground that's like frozen. There's so much shit on the ground that's frozen. It's just like, even when they bring out the assaults, I mean, I salt my driveway and stuff. It doesn't even really help because it's too cold. If it's 5 degrees out, it's not the salt really isn't going to do much. It'll melt like the specific area where this piece is in. But just to clarify, I was selling silver at CoinShop. Well, that's good. You're selling it because you're selling high. You saw at the top. Although silver did take a shit a few days ago. I think it dropped significantly. Almost dropped back under 100 if I remember. Dropped like 10% or something. Why Senate wouldn't end the blue slip, end filibuster, and pass this? They need to end the filibuster. It's so ridiculous. But they're concerned what Democrats are going to do with the power that they have if there's no filibuster and they win. But it's ridiculous. I mean, but now at this point, do you really end it now? Because you've wasted over a year with it in place. And here comes another shutdown. Although I don't know, is there seriously going to be another shutdown? People said, well, maybe it's going to happen because there's funding for ICE involved in the next payment package from that they're going to be okaying. I don't know. Betting markets on shutdown. Yeah, it's probably like 50% chance of a shutdown, but I don't know. Drone warfare is brutal. I would hate to be participating in drone warfare. It's just so dirty if you watch some of the drone warfare, the bombing. Now I'm getting recommended all this just weird shit, honestly.
You make of what's happening in Minnesota?
Just let them be there and do their job, period. Leave ICE alone. Getting in front of people's faces and doing this to ICE is total horse hockey in my opinion. Donald Trump is doing what the people elected him to do. Get rid of the illegal immigration. That's it.
You make of what?
I would have liked to seen a follow-up question there. It'd probably be some bullshit liberal question.
shootouts tonight, all things considered.
So what, they just sit in a fucking hotel lobby? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Abolish ICE is the new defund the police. That's what I was saying. Yeah, it reminds me of it. It's an immediate reaction. It's magnifying a specific event, and it's anti-authority. That's what that's really. You look at the different sections of it. It really is a good comparison to defund the police, because they react hysterically to an event. They blow it out of proportion, and then they try and limit overall authority, just like they did with defund the police. And it's like, you know, these people, it's not a serious society. It's not a serious thing. They don't want to have immigration enforcement, or, you know, I guess they say, well, we're going to replace ICE with basically nothing. You know, they want all the people to be, they need to give them amnesty. They have to replace their voting base. They don't have children. That party does not have enough children to be able to be competitive in the future, so they have to replace it with illegals, legals. You know, they get naturalized, they get voting rights. 70% of them, 65% of them vote liberal. So that's what they need to do. It's very important for them. And that's really what this comes down to. That's really what it's about. And it's also about the demographic replacement of white people in the country. And so those are the two main things. It's horrible. I mean, that's why people are so against, a lot of Republicans. You got to be really against this immigration. It's destructive. And something like this is just, it's like they're protesting what democracy wanted. Democracy wanted the people to be deported. Trump is trying to deport them. Do they not understand all the performative liberalism is hurting them? It doesn't even, like, register on any Richter scale in terms of these people doing this. Like, what is this even? People aren't even going to see this. Normie people aren't going to care, like, them protesting this or it's just more it really is like a third grader mentality. Like, they want to rip everything up, defund the police, defund ICE, defund all of law enforcement who arrests anyone, because we don't want, I guess they want anarchy. Like, what do you, like, this is what children do. It really is. And it's not even like it, you know, they have a point to where, oh, they're going around shooting people. No, that's not what happened. That's a completely disingenuous mischaracterization on the situation, the skirmish, and the dude getting shot. And so we'll have to see what happens in terms of the investigation. That's what Trump said. He said he was waiting for the investigation. Did you see the college football preseason rankings? Yeah, I think it's kind of what, I think the three best rosters are Notre Dame, Texas, and Oregon. But other than that, it's like wide open college football. It's because of the transfer portal. There's just so many players exchanging, and it's hard to really predict an actual, like, who's the actual favorite. We will elect Trump again in 2028. Sorry to me, but it's going to happen. We will win a fourth time, Trump 2028. We will win the midterms. She was peaceful, ICE bad, white men bad, illegal good, Muslim good, Jews bad, Christians bad. Yeah, you summarized it pretty well. Basically, anyone that supports white people, Nazi. That's how I would end it, maybe. He disagrees with me, dude. The guy's been saying that for months. He keeps donating to me that Trump's gonna run in 2028. At this point, it's got to be some type of ongoing joke. But, you know, it just, like, I'm fatigued at this point of it.
example, Laura, we're talking about interior enforcement. It's important. Have done a lot of
Thoughts on AI? It's just technological advancement. It's going to happen one way or another. Countries, whether the United States, China, whoever, there's going to be a big boom in AI, and it's going to continue to evolve, and it's hard to predict exactly where it'll go. They'll put in laws to try and stop it or try and limit it. Some of them will work, some of them won't work, and we'll just have to learn to live with AI and utilize it. That's basically it with AI.
in Florida for it. But why not go after the remittances? Why not reduce some of the coming illegally? Why not do employment verification? Why not defund sanctuary cities? These are things that our voters would support 80%, and yet you don't see that being done. So I think if they go bold, if they make the Democrats vote against these really important, popular conservative things, you know, our voters will get a little bit more energized. I do think that that would happen.
Do you think we should get rid of the filibuster?
You know, I think the question is if you do that, what are you going to actually pass? And what I would hate to see is that happen, the Republicans still not pass anything, and then the Democrats come in and make D.C. a state and do all those other things. And so that's the thing. They haven't really coalesced around a very big, bold, conservative agenda. So the only way I would consider that is if they had 4 or 5 really transformative conservative things that were ready to go that they can do. I just haven't seen that yet.
Well, a lot of the Congress is full of rhinos or old people, and it's just like, it's hard to get anything. Even though you have the majority, it's such a slim majority in the House, it's hard to get anything too crazy passed, I guess. Join our constitutional movement 2028. Watch Rally. No, there should be volume. Yeah, there's volume. I don't know what you're talking about. I like popcorn over pretzels. A good pretzel, you know, a good pretzel as an appetizer at a restaurant is good. The softer pretzels, Auntie Anne's has really good pretzels. But at a movie theater, I don't think a pretzel would be that good. I think popcorn is better at a movie theater. I like popcorn. I like movie theater popcorn. Will Solana get back to 200 by May? I have no clue. I just have to... I don't even know. It's hard to even say, you know, if it's a cycle or what's going on with crypto. I think it's just kind of a wait and see. Wait and see what Bitcoin does. You know, Bitcoin's been hanging around for like 3 or 4 straight months, like this 90K range. So if Bitcoin has a leg down, I think it's a confirmation that it's actually not an extended cycle, but what do I know? Why doesn't anyone want to coach the Browns? Yeah, I know. I think they're going to have to go with, I guess, Schwartz as a 1-year rental or whatever, just a 1-year interim, and then get their coach next year. But it's just that, you know, it's a mismanaged franchise. It doesn't have a quarterback. They got a good defense, but there's other jobs that I guess are better for people, more attractive. Nobody wants to be the Eagles OC. That's because their fan base is insane. The Eagles fan base is crazy, and I guess there's just not a lot of growth to be the OC there. Dark MAGA makes a comeback. Unless Trump somehow says it just doesn't. I don't see it making any comeback. More important to hold executive, judiciary, or legislature. Depends who's in charge of each and depends how aggressive they are. But I mean, executive is what the presidency is what everything is downstream of that to a degree in terms of appointments. And I mean, if you have a liberal president but fully conservative legislature, you could block everything. Got a girlfriend that does not mind that you support Trump 2028. All right, that's great. Yeah, I think crypto is probably. I don't see how the stream got nuked.
I think that what she's done in Minnesota should be disqualifying. She should be out of the job. And I mean, really, it's just amateurish. It's terrible. It's making the president look bad on policies that he won on. He won on a strong message about immigration. And now nobody's talking about that. They're not talking about securing the border. They're talking about the incompetence of the leader of Homeland Security and the other people, Bavino, whatever his name is. He needs to go back to California, get his retirement papers, and go. These people are amateurs. They got to de-escalate there and treat these communities with some respect. I think
that's ridiculous. That's complete horseshit. Entering communities with respect. There's not. What do you think they should ask him? Do you think you play patty cake when you deport people? Like, that's such a bullshit thing to say. I mean, I don't think Noam's been good. I think her messaging's been bad, but it's a different. This guy wants it softer. Oh, the cat. 99 cents, really? The cat little thing. We will never see a Democrat politician in handcuffs. Yeah, I think 100% you're right. There's just not going to happen. It's all talk. You know, they talk about prosecuting these people. I'd rather they just focus. Well, it's hard because, you know, liberals are going to try and prosecute Trump and everything like that. So it's like you kind of have to. But I'd rather they just focus on the important aspects of law and order within the country, of, you know, the future instead of the past. But dude, I mean, you know, the thing is when it's a snowstorm, it's gonna be not good. I don't know. It's gonna be not good Wi-Fi. You watching me on 2 screens? Really? That's an interesting setup. He got 2 screens. I never watched a stream on 2 streams. Maybe once or twice, but. If we the people choose Trump 2028, it would happen. Yeah, but it's not even worth it with Trump and how old he's gotten. It just doesn't even make sense, I don't think. You know, we as a country, we have to get younger anyways. World War II vids are good with the cadence and spooky background music. I like doing those videos that are scripted. It's nice. But they take a long time to do. I was going to do another one. I want to do one on Nazi architecture, maybe Soviet architecture. A few other ones I thought about. Did you see Ilhan Omar got sprayed with acid or some substance 30 minutes ago? I haven't seen anything about that. Somebody said there was something with Ilhan Omar. I didn't see that, though. (2026) midterm. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really a point. There's the primaries haven't even happened, you know, so we don't, in a lot of cases, and really in most of the cases in the Senate and governor's races. You think the Democrats will be stubborn and install everything again in the upcoming government shutdown like they did the last 45 days? I don't know. I mean, obviously, it turns into the leverage game, and they don't want funding for some type of... Maybe it is ICE funding or something that they don't want. So that'll be a shit show if that actually happens, because obviously the administration is going to be empowered to push the funding through because of the mandate from 2024. But, yeah, hopefully not. I mean, at this point, because of the recent shootings, they're definitely going to feel they have more... The Democrats are going to feel they have more leverage if they want to try and shut it down. So it could be... I don't think it's going to be 45 days, but... I think they might try and negotiate it so it doesn't happen, because it does look ridiculous if they're going to shut the government down again for like a month. It just looks insane for the country. So you'd think they would negotiate it quickly out of it. You missed on so many key World War II. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's because I'm only gonna make the video so long. Trump flirting clip. I didn't see that clip.
So we're in downtown Minneapolis. What we found, NGOs and nonprofits funded by the government, featuring true believers.
Is the door locked?
Lock the door. Why are you giving us the middle finger?
Our undercover people were inside the mob.
Three individuals of our national organizations used to look up Make the Road New York.
Are there chats and stuff? I'm trying to get linked up. Watch out. Here we go. Here we go.
Not press. These guys aren't pressed. Not the fucking bed.
They threw something at me which hit the back of my bulletproof vest.
They're everywhere.
Shut the fucking doors.
Shut the door. Oh, whoa.
They threw a frozen ice brick at the car. Downtown Minneapolis, the day before the shooting of Alex Preddy, they were still protesting Renee Good. The O'Keefe team rolled into town in an SUV with tinted windows. They could not see inside. And what's remarkable is they start cursing at your car merely because it is an SUV, which they all perceive to be feds.
Is the door locked?
Lock the door. Why are you giving us the middle finger?
Here comes the guy. Don't loan. Do not.
I don't know what he's doing.
No, don't. Don't. See?
Just don't hit
I mean, these are all white guys.
Usually
too.
I'm
That's
pretty confrontational, but we soon realized the only way to deal with these types of white walkers, or zombies as we call them, is to just not engage.
Roll up your window. Roll up your window now.
Anything else would lead to escalation and violence. It's safe to say that I've never seen anything like this in my life. Just driving down a street will have people scream to you and curse at you and threaten violence. Our undercover people arrived at the tail end of the protest that evening, including myself.
Watchdog, how you doing? What's going on? It's Jay O'Connell, Watchdog. My fiance is a teacher.
Is she? What's she teach?
Special needs.
Where are we going? We're gonna be up ice agents. Don't you have a thing to cover your face? Oh, this.
I swear, bro, whenever I try and watch something on here, there's always an audio problem. There's always an audio problem.
We heard
like there's like screaming or there's something, you make it too low, then it's too high, then it's too...
Fuck eyes. Fuck eyes. Fuck eyes. Fuck eyes.
Hopefully the audience will forgive this reporter for participating in these chants in order to fit in. We found teachers, nurses, and union organizers all telling us, "We appreciate you, neighbor."
Appreciate your neighbor. Appreciate you, neighbor. I appreciate you, neighbor. A guy came by.
Getting tired of seeing women on your feed saying people who want to enforce immigration law have no compassion. You don't think it's compassionate to allow people in drugs to get trafficked across the border? It's such a third grade level take, the compassion argument. Countries are not built on compassion. That's ridiculous. You'll destroy your country through suicidal empathy and compassion. Anyone can have compassion. It's very easy to have compassion. It's hard to do the tough thing and tell people you need to go home. We have nothing against you. You need to go home, though. Actually, we do have something against you. You came to our country illegally.
Before he stopped here, there was a bunch of young kids, and they handed out weed to everybody. Really?
There's an update.
I don't know.
Oh my god! Oh my god! He sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing.
No, we'll go. No, we will continue. No.
Yeah.
You need to go get checked.
Here we go with this.
These fucking assholes are not gonna get away with it.
You need to go get checked.
Coincidence all this Minnesota crap happens just a few days after Tim Walz and state government get accused of $1 billion plus widespread fraud. Yeah, and then on top of that, he says he's not going to run. I mean, obviously the fraud was terrible. I mean, if it's that bad to where the incumbent governor is not going to run again. Yeah, and now it completely gets covered up by whatever this is that's happening. It is interesting how that happens. Yeah, I don't know what he sprayed at her, honestly. It's some liquid, I don't know, pepper spray or something. I don't fucking know. He sprays her and then backs over. He gets tackled. And we'll see what that ends up being. But I'm sure that's going to be a, big thing. Political violence. Fake, she knew him. We'll see what comes out. I mean, they do tend to, we saw what happened with Jesse Smollett. Did you hear the TikTok censorship against certain people saying stuff? What, against censorship against saying bad things about Jewish people? That's probably what you mean. Yeah, I mean, look at who bought it. I mean, TikTok is hard to use. You can't even use it. You can't even upload videos on history. You know, you try and upload shorts on history, they don't allow it. I mean, I don't know what they even allow. The moderation on TikTok is so bad. Play the entire James O'Keefe video. The entire video is like 24 minutes long. You know that. You doubt it was staged? Yeah, I doubt it was staged too. Dude, I want to go out and get something to eat. I can't fucking... I mean, the roads are so bad. The roads actually might not be that bad right now. I don't know. I go up to Sheetz to get something, get like a Rice Krispie treat. There's 2 Sheetz in my city. One of them is in a nicer area and it's pretty new. The other one is like an older Sheetz from like 2010. It's in kind of a worse area, but the worse area, it's quicker to get to and it's easier to access. Because the nice, well, maybe at these hours I could access it pretty easily, but you've got to like make this left turn in a big main road with multiple lanes, and it holds up cars behind you. So I go to the shitty Sheetz, and there's all these people fucking smell like marijuana. I do like Sheetz. You can like access the building from the back. I like that. Something about big gas stations. I haven't had Five Guys in... I mean, McDonald's I barely have. McDonald's is just not even filling. I don't even... You know, I had... It's kind of a measly... You get like a 10-piece McNugget. It's not even really food. It doesn't even like... It's like a snack. I mean, I don't know. And the fries are so small. And then the other one, Five Guys. Five Guys is just expensive as hell. I mean, it's about $16, $17, I think, for one person, Five Guys. Is it seriously that much? I mean, that's... Normally, fast food should be like $10 per person. For me, it's $10. 75 degrees in California. Yeah, I mean, there's pretty much everywhere, maybe outside of California, is going to be freezing this upcoming week. It's crazy how cold it's going to be down south. They're already complaining. I mean, even like down in Florida, it's going to be cold. Dairy Queen actually has decent food. I mean, obviously Dairy Queen has good blizzards. But its food is not that bad either. Did you hear about the 2 people caught having intercourse outside of Cane's in Columbus? Dude, Cane's is... I don't like Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's is mid. You want to talk about what... Raising Cane's is pretty mid. It's not that good. Ilhan Omar attacked or rushed. Yeah, she was rushed and then got sprayed with a substance, and the guy kind of backed away. He didn't really go for a bodyguard. Do you think the recent news around Minnesota feels Trump is pulling back? I mean, we'll see what happens. Apparently, Homan is going in. So if Homan's going in, I wouldn't really expect that to be pulling back. But I don't know. You know, they're very concerned about the midterms. And so it becomes really an optics thing, unfortunately. But I don't know what... I mean, obviously, they want to have good optics in terms of being strong and not losing to the protesters or to Waltz or whatever. So you want to continue the raids and stuff. But it's got to be done in a way that you can keep good optics, I think. That's what they're trying to do by bringing in Homan. Casey Putsch. Yeah, I mean, he's fine. I don't think he's much of a chance of winning. There's always going to be these candidates that rise when you've got, Byron Donalds and Ramaswamy. So there's people that rise up, like America First people, to try and beat him. But he just doesn't have the funding apparatus. It's late in the ball game. I mean, the primary is coming up. I think the primary is in May for Ohio, the Republican primary for governor. I think it's like really early May. So it's like, is there really any chance here? I mean, maybe we see a poll. May 5th. Why was Trump in Iowa? I don't know. I'm not sure why he was there. Do you think boomers ruin society? I think it's a little bit deeper than that, like a generational thing. But boomers, have a tendency to hoard wealth. And so that becomes a problem, yes. I mean, generally, boomers are actually more conservative. And recently, though, it's kind of actually changed to where it's like 50-50, but... Did you see Will Cain interview Trump? No, I didn't see it. Weather is so bad in Memphis, the FedEx you work at in Colorado, hasn't gotten freight in 2 days. Tomorrow's going to suck. Well, you're going to be backed up if you get it tomorrow. So what, you just haven't been working? You get snow days? There's been so many snow days this year, because we've just had shit weather, and the timing of it's been terrible, too. They call off for cold. They call off for the snow. Do you know a lot about the Battle of Leningrad? The Siege of Leningrad? I mean, I know a little bit about it. Gen Z ruining Las Vegas casinos and hotel industry, and they're ruining alcohol industry because they're not... I don't know if they're ruining the alcohol industry. There's people that still drink alcohol. I mean... I don't know, man. I think it's kind of overstated when they talk about generations and stuff like that, and... I mean, the thing is with the internet, people are just less... There's less of a... there's less gathering places. The bar is a gathering place for people. They pay you 4 hours if you don't work. It used to be 7 hours. Yeah, I've heard a lot of the union situations, like FedEx and some of the other jobs, like service jobs, they've gotten better. A lot of the pay on some of these things, even entry level, has gone up significantly. Anything physical, I've heard it's gone up. I mean, in some cases it has to because of inflation, but also demand, they have to raise it because people won't work. I mean, people have other options now in terms of what they can do. I'm shocked at the amount of people. I mean, I guess I understand it to a degree. It's probably nothing going to happen, but the amount of people that get DoorDash, every day I hear people talking about DoorDash and stuff. And when I got DoorDash, but then I stopped getting it because I just felt weird with other people touching my food. I mean, if I had somebody that I trusted that could get me my DoorDash and stuff, I would do that for sure. But I just don't trust the people. I think they're not qualified. It's just not. Also, sometimes the cars smell like cigarettes and stuff, and then it becomes problematic. Yeah, it is too expensive. It is really expensive. I mean, because think about it. You know, if the Chick-fil-A meal is like $10.50, the entire thing's gonna be $17 if you get DoorDash, basically, unless you want to be an asshole and not tip. But then you got to worry about them doing something to your food. Well, I mean, I guess they have the thing to where you have a seal on it, but still. Some of these DoorDashers, I've seen them, they get into a fucking tizzy if you don't tip. And it's not me personally, I've seen it online. Where these dudes just, this dude just lost it. And he started banging on the door. He's like, was there no cash tip? And and the lady's like, no, there's not. And he's like, this is the 3rd time this week. And he just throws the food out. Yes, I saw Ilhan Omar was charged and sprayed with an unknown substance. I saw it. It'll be interesting to see what the substance was. I mean, DoorDash, it's really more just time optimization. It's really you gotta have money, I feel like, to do it for it to be worth it. Because otherwise, yeah, paying like $17, $18 for a fucking normal meal is kind of a lot for a normal fast food meal. Yeah, people were saying it was faked. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Cory in the House is politically related. I don't know what that is. You got fired in high school for crashing out at JCPenney over $50 pizza and no tip. Wait, you delivered pizza to a JCPenney for like a staff party or something? That's pretty funny. And they didn't give you a tip? Yeah, but I mean, the thing is with like deliveries, those are actual delivery services. Like pizza, that's a delivery service. If Chinese food, that's a delivery service. This other stuff is really not. It's just people it's just randos picking up food and then delivering it. It's not actually people from McDonald's bringing it to your house, you know? To me, it's not the same. If it was a McDonald's worker bringing it to the house, then it'd be the same thing as like pizza. Because it's actually an employee from the pizza shop doing it, delivering. Anti-ICE posts are starting to remind you of the black square during BLM riots, loyalty test for the liberal religion. Yeah, it's performative. I mean, that was next level though. The black square stuff, that whole time period was next level. It's not going to usurp that. Maybe if there were minorities that got shot or something, but that was. But I can see the comparison of like defund ICE, defund the police. Exactly, DoorDash is just some random third party that has a driver's license. Right, how can you really trust that? And then your food comes and it smells like a cigarette. I've had that happen once. I could tell, and I was like, this is just a miserable experience, and this is supposed to be... I used to get DoorDash. I was making a lot of money during the election season and stuff, and I didn't want to go. I was doing 3 videos a day. And so that's when I would really get it. But now it's not feasible for me. It doesn't make sense. You don't trust these people. If I had a personal, assistant or somebody that I trusted to go get it, yeah, that'd be different. But that's not the case. And now they get really angry because it's during the snowstorm and, they're out. Imagine you don't get to give somebody a tip with the snow. I mean, they get it just... It's just you don't want to deal with these people. They put a sticker on the bag. Yeah, but even if it's in a car that has bad aroma, it'll get to the food. It gets all over the aroma gets all over the food. You can smell it. It's just not worth it. Let alone handling the drink. Did he spray her with deodorant? I don't know. I thought it was pepper spray or something. I mean, she probably would have reacted differently if it was pepper spray. You got a gift card for it? Yeah, I mean, obviously, if I had a gift card for it, I would use it if I had one, but... Nerve agent? I don't know what it would mean. You can speculate. Tip culture sucks. Well, everyone expects a tip now, you know, that's kind of how it is. But you're right, now it's gotten to the point to where, you know, even at a place where there's no real service, there's no actual delivery, they expect a tip. They say, is there a tip here? You're checking out a cash register after, you know, or paying for ice cream or something, and they ask you if you want a tip. That's where it becomes problematic. There's no tip. I mean, there's already taxation on that. Not going to be tipping for that. That's not a delivery. That's not a service. But, you know, they can get money out of people doing that. It's just another thing that they can do because some people give a tip. DoorDash delivering alcohol keeps them in good graces with the courts. Yeah, I'm sure it's mitigated a lot of DUIs. Yeah, I don't know, man. Modern dating. Well, it's it is modern dating is very challenging. But it depends. I mean, it depends what type of person you are. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this live stream. I'm getting it there. Why has the U.S. West gotten so much worse the last 60 years after killing MLK, JFK? Epidemic of corruption. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's mass immigration in the last 60 years. That's been a main culprit of it. Would you take 10K cash right now or have 10 of your top conspiracy theories answered with actual facts and proofs, but you can never share the answers? Well, it depends what you would classify as a conspiracy theory. Would you classify conspiracy theories like believing in certain religious stuff and things like that? Would that be classified as conspiracy? You'd want the knowledge. No, you'd want the knowledge over the 10K. But again, is it like just, is it only certain conspiracies? Can you stretch it? That's a really interesting question. But all right, guys, I'm gonna see you later. Thank you for tuning in.